Welcome to War and Untold Stories. Here, we explore the hidden side of history, the daring prison escapes, and the shocking crimes that history tried to forget. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is a special video. This story has been requested by many people, and I'm happy to share it today. On June 11, 1962, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin became infamous after they disappeared without a trace. What makes their case so baffling is not just the fact that they vanished from one of the most secure prisons in the world, but also how they managed to pull off such a daring feat. Alcatraz Island stood as an almost escape-proof fortress in San Francisco Bay. When it opened in 1934, the prison housed the nation's most dangerous criminals, men considered incorrigible and beyond rehabilitation. Their presence on Alcatraz was meant to be a sentence without hope of parole. By 1962, more than 1,500 inmates had passed through its imposing gates. Among them, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin were known for their intelligence and determination. In the dark and dank cells, time moved slowly. Days blurred into weeks and months into years. Many inmates turned to routine, finding solace in the monotony. But these three men were consumed by a single thought: escape. Life in Alcatraz was harsh. Inmates faced strict routines, limited contact with the outside world, and constant surveillance by armed guards. Yet within this bleak landscape, the trio hatched a plan that would defy the odds and become a thing of legend. Their escape began with small acts of defiance, collecting extra spoons, hiding contraband items, and observing the guards' routines. Over months, they transformed these mundane objects into vital tools of their plan. They used spoons to widen ventilation shafts in their cells, inching them open bit by bit. Each crevice represented a step closer to freedom. The noise from their work echoed through the cell blocks, but the sounds of scraping metal were lost in the prison's din. It was a symphony of desperation and hope. As the shafts widened, a new challenge arose. The trio needed a way to conceal their activities from the vigilant guards. Enter the dummy heads. These eerie figures were crafted from plaster and cloth, designed to deceive the eyes of the prison personnel. They resembled the inmates so closely that it was almost impossible to distinguish between the real and the fake. As night fell, the real men slipped into the shadows, leaving behind their lifeless doppelgangers in the beds. Their escape route was a labyrinth of tunnels dug with patient precision, using a combination of makeshift tools, including those same spoons. They carved through concrete and rock, inching their way towards the outside world. As the tunnel neared completion, tension mounted. The risk of detection loomed over them like a guillotine. If discovered, their chances of survival were slim. At long last, the tunnel was ready. On the night of June 11, 1962, as a full moon cast an eerie glow over Alcatraz, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers put their plan into action. With the dummy heads in place, they slipped out of their cells and into the darkness. Moving silently, they navigated the prison's corridors, their steps echoing their determination. Reaching the end of their tunnel, they emerged onto the prison roof. From here, the final part of their escape unfolded. They lowered themselves into the cold, dark waters of the San Francisco Bay using a makeshift raft. Crafted from raincoats, it bobbed on the waves, a silent witness to their audacious escape. As they disappeared into the fog, the sounds of their struggle for freedom were swallowed by the wind. Dawn broke over Alcatraz, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. The rising sun revealed an unsettling sight. 3 cells were empty, the dummy heads still in place, the bed sheets undisturbed. The guards rushed to investigate, their faces etched with disbelief. How could 3 men have vanished without leaving a trace? So began one of the most intense manhunts in history. The FBI descended on Alcatraz, combing every inch of the island for clues. Boats patrolled the bay, searching the waters where the raft had likely floated. Divers explored the murky depths, hoping to find some sign of the escapees. But as days turned into weeks, the investigation yielded no conclusive evidence, and the mystery deepened. However, some clues hinted that they might have made it to shore. A discarded life jacket found on Angel Island and a possible sighting in Canada kept hopes alive. Despite extensive searches, the escapees were never officially found. Their fate became a puzzle with pieces that didn't quite fit. Over the years, numerous theories have sprung up, each trying to piece together what really happened. Some believe that the trio, upon reaching the frigid waters of the bay, succumbed to the powerful currents and icy temperatures, their bodies lost forever to the depths. Others argue that with the raft in tow, they managed to navigate the treacherous waters only to be met with rough terrain and unforgiving rocks along the shoreline. Perhaps exhaustion and injuries sustained during their escape led to their demise on the very land they had dreamed of reaching. Then there are those who believe that Morris and the Anglin brothers successfully vanished, shedding their former identities like snakeskin and starting anew. If they did survive, they likely changed their names, altered their appearances, and lived out the remainder of their lives under false pretenses. This theory is supported by occasional sightings reported over the years. These glimpses of the fugitives, though tantalizing, have been shrouded in uncertainty. Was it truly them, or merely a figment of a wishful imagination? One intriguing lead came in 1975 when Clarence Anglin's parole officer received a letter postmarked from Mexico City. The letter, purportedly written by Clarence, spoke of his contentment with his new life. However, the authenticity of the letter has been questioned. Some argue that the handwriting was too neat, unlike Clarence's known scribblings. It could have been a cruel hoax, playing on the hopes of a nation captivated by the escape. Another compelling theory suggests that the men were aided by a network of sympathizers. Perhaps there were individuals on the mainland who helped them evade capture, providing food, shelter, and false documents. This network may have enabled the trio to slip through the cracks of society, becoming invisible to all but those who chose to remain loyal to them. In the years following the escape, Alcatraz was permanently shut down as a prison. Its cell blocks fell silent, echoing the absence of its former inmates. In 1973, the island was transferred to the National Park Service, opening a new chapter as a tourist destination and a historical site. Visitors now explore the very cells where Morris and the Anglins once plotted their daring escape. The legacy of their attempted escape has transcended the confines of Alcatraz. It has permeated into the realm of pop culture, inspiring books, documentaries, and films. Perhaps the most famous adaptation is the 1979 film Escape from Alcatraz, starring Clint Eastwood. The movie's gritty realism and Eastwood's portrayal of Frank Morris have solidified The Escape as a cinematic classic. In recent years, the case has seen renewed interest. New documentaries have revisited the evidence, proposing fresh perspectives on the mystery. The use of modern technology has allowed investigators to re-examine old clues and create new theories about the escape and its aftermath. As we reflect on the audacious escape attempt from Alcatraz, several questions linger. Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers perish in the icy depths of the San Francisco Bay? Or did they successfully vanish into the vast expanse of the United States? The definitive answer may forever elude our grasp, lost to the mists of time. Perhaps it's in the unanswered questions that the true intrigue lies. The Alcatraz escape will continue to captivate, reminding us of the indomitable spirit of humanity. Whether they lived or died, their story will echo through the ages, inspiring awe and wonder.